Happy Wednesday, everybody, and after 3 long weeks, we got a new patch.
Yeah.
Riot went on their little vacation, who knows what they
Yeah.
did.
I'm kind of sad about this patch because I feel like I've just been getting freelo with Renata. Though she's not on the nerf list here. That
nothing
might
to worry
come to
about.
an end.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that might come to an end. Sometimes, even when they don't change that specific champion, that champion can become weaker just because of the other champions that are getting buffed or nerfed, or the other... Because it's support, there's even more variables, right? So there's champions that get buffed in the ADC role or in the jungle role that no longer make the champion you're playing relevant, even though they haven't been touched. So, other than that, though, I think it's Renata. I mean, bailout is bailout, and that skill is OP. We know this, and so she should still stay relevant, but those are my hopes, at least.
You got at least another 2 weeks.
Right.
Before she possibly gets the ban stick, or the nerf stick, sorry.
Yeah. I don't know how people just don't auto-ban her regularly. I guess there's other more OP champions, but I feel like she's just really friggin' strong.
We have that thing that happens to us. We're like, not necessarily just Renata, but there's just so many champions in the fucking game that we could ban 5 champions we hate,
right? And
then they pick that one that we're just like, oh fuck, but
that one you didn't think about.
But yeah, as always, guys, we're gonna get into the poll and Q&A from last week.
Yes.
Last week's episode was talking about the RP changes, and our poll was, do these RP price changes bother you? And apparently we have fucking millionaires as listeners, because 75% of you guys said no. I'm just kidding. I mean, it was only a $2 change. At the
base level.
The 13, was it 1380 RP?
The $20 level, which I think is the most common level that people probably buy. So there was probably some strategy in not super outpricing people there, and hitting the price changes elsewhere. Because I think that has to be the most
generic.
Who spends $5 on LP? Yep. RP. Jesus Christ, I'd spend $5 on LP if it got me the next rank.
We talked about it a lot last week, so go back and listen to that if you guys are curious. But one thing I would just say, I can't remember if I didn't say, is I just would be scared that this becomes a regular thing.
Right.
So
this is there hasn't been a game that's been around. I mean, besides WoW. But even then, I guess you could buy currency offline, but it's not through Blizzard. I don't think you can buy currency through Blizzard. I think you have to buy it through like a third-party program to get currency in-game. So it's a little bit different. I think this is the only game that's been around this long that sells its own currency and is still relevant and hasn't been to there's Overwatch 2 or whatever that's actually ever had a price change in what their currency costs. So I think that is interesting, and it could be a precedent setter one way or the other. It could go very, very poorly, which I don't think it will because it's such a minor increase. It probably will go over pretty swell, and the Reddit complainers will be in the minority, and everybody else will say, just fucking deal with it, and we'll move on with our lives. But who knows? Obviously, it doesn't bother most of you guys. It didn't bother me. Dean, you're in the minority. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just a broke-ass bitch, dude.
Same.
But yeah, so then our Q&A was simply explain why you voted yes or no. And Matt L, aka Calientes, wrote in and said, went with no. The only time I ever bought RP with my own cash to buy a skin was to buy a skin for a friend. I'm just going to save RP from Prime and the occasional gift cards from birthdays.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. I think I probably end up spending more RP on buying stuff for friends than I do on myself. Unless there's like a really cool skin that I want, in which case that's a different story.
Yeah, I think when we first started playing League 2, it was only around holidays, because I don't think I was making enough money to even shell off.
Right.
I'm still not making enough money to probably spend money on this game, but I still do it anyways. But no, I mean, that makes sense, right?
We don't. In fairness, back in those days, we were buying other video games, so we weren't justifying spending money on this game. And so I think the spending's probably, this is like a philosophical way to put it, I guess, but the spending's probably the same. It's just on one game instead of 6 different games that we're going to play for a month or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is like there is a return there that's different than your Call of Duties or your Borderlandses or whatever, because yes, those games have DLC, and those games are typically relevant for, especially Call of Duty is relevant for a year. And so, like, I feel like buying loot box stuff in that game is stupid, or buying Battle Pass is kind of like overrated. Whereas, like, something in League, it's going to be around for as long as you play the game, which could be like almost a decade, like what we're coming up on.
To be fair, all the Call of Duties now are like somehow interlinked with Warzone.
Right.
So a lot of those skins you actually get to keep and play in Warzone.
Cool. That's cool.
So, for the next one, you want to go over Squamado first because Mayo kind of.
Back to Mayo.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you want to read Squamato's.
Squamado! As long as the amount of riot points on the Prime capsule remains unchanged, I am not bothered, since I get RP only via the capsule. And I think I mentioned in the episode too, I think that's like a driving factor for the change. Is like, hey, we partner with Amazon, we're going to give you some free stuff, but because we're giving you all this free stuff, we do need to raise the price here, to kind of combat the currency inflation that they created. And I know that sounds fucking weird, but they legitimately created their own inflation. And I don't remember if I talked about that last week or not, but by introducing free currency through a subscription somewhere else, they have effectively inflated riot points, and they are not worth as much as they once were.
And to piggyback off that one, yeah, Mayo said, reminded us that the Prime capsules did get nerfed. They RP dropped.
Oh, okay.
So it was 650 when they introduced it last November. It's only 350 now.
Oof.
Yeah, it's so like it's like, oh, I can get an event pass once every like 5 months, four months. So
right. So.
Yeah. So to finish it up, he said the RP was already changed on Prime Capsule, and I said yes. There's my boy, because I usually give myself a monthly allowance, and now Rito is nerfing it. But I have most of the champs I want. Skins aren't that cool. And again, that was what I was talking about. Is the quality? The quality of skins some of them have been dipping, and that worries me. Event passes getting nerfed. They're not like, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. We got a little preview of the Star Guardian post today, yesterday. The day this is recorded, we got it, and the Prestige Syndra skin looked cool.
Oh, wonderful! Looks fucking incredible.
We'll see how the rest of these Star Guardian skins shape out. I think they've been. Oh no, they're on this. Okay, cool. Haven't looked at any of them yet, so that's awesome. They're actually on this patch, so I'm not.
The first batches.
Right. I'm not speaking out of turn, and I'm sure the other ones are on surrender at 20, but we'll wait for the regular patch notes and highlights to come out. Yep. But unless you got anything else, there was no LCS, so we don't have an LCS minute or anything. Unless there's anything else you want to add, I think we can get right into it.
Except TSM's is a fucking dumpster fire.
Oh, TSM Hooney said, "I'm stepping down, peace, bitch." And I think I talked about this, how I feel bad for Hooney. I was not surprised that he stepped down, and it looked like it was on his own volition. When they say step down versus being let go,
it said he had wrist issues.
Oh, did he? I didn't even read the whole thing.
Yeah, it said he's been experiencing wrist issues.
He's been playing this game at a very, very, very high level for a very, very, very long time. That doesn't surprise me. I remember Bunny Fufu had a really big problem with wrist issues.
Yep.
God, there was a jungler that had problems with wrist issues, and I can't think of who it is. I know Bjergsen's had problems. Meteos. Meteos had problems.
Oh, okay.
Which is partially why he doesn't play anymore. Also, just not being up to the caliber that you need to be in professional LCS these days. But nonetheless, TSM is top laneless for the moment. And they also cut Academy support Shenyi, which is of no surprise to me. They also cut Academy jungler Hyper, who was the worst Academy jungler. And I know it certainly feels bad when you have both the worst LCS team and the worst Academy team, and when it's not fucking close. It feels really bad as an organization. So I am not surprised in any way, shape, or form that they made a bunch of changes, picked up Onda, and that's really the only one I've seen. I think Golden Guardians picked up another Academy jungler as well, and I can't remember who it was. It was someone that was on their team in the past. Um, beyond that, I got nothing else for LCS.
Yep. So let's take a quick break and let's get into the patch notes.
Yep.
Alrighty. Here we go. 12-13. Now, this is pretty nuts because, like, we know the Sivir mid-scope update. I don't think we've talked about it. Did we talk about it since that one Monday episode where they had mentioned it? We had mentioned it for the first time.
Right.
I don't think we have. So it's a little different, so we can go over that. 2 nerfs. I know Corki is really overpowered in the mid lane, and Volibear has been getting a lot of action in the jungle.
Yep.
So that's good. And then a whole... Now I'm looking at these buffs, and Master Yi fucking scares me. I know one of the changes to him, and I don't know if there's more, but it's pretty ridiculous.
I haven't looked at anything.
It's pretty... yeah. The only reason I've seen them is because, of course, people on Reddit see this, or like the PvE updates and freak out.
Also, as I say, preliminarily, it was on that mid-patch update from 12.12b. So, I'm not sure if the numbers stuck, but I'm sure.
No, this is completely different.
Oh, this is completely different. Okay.
This is different. These are new changes.
Fuck yeah, because I remember they had those 12.13 changes that also came on the 12.12b notes when they posted those, but they changed these totally too.
Oh, these are like you'll see. It's
Okay.
stupid as fuck. It's stupid
Okay.
as fuck. All right.
Well,
let's
first
get into
things
it.
first, guys. As of July 13th, you have Neela joining the Rift. Everyone give a round of applause for a new champion.
Can't wait to ban her every fucking game.
Yeah, this champion's going to shit on your britches, and I feel like I'm playing Renata into this bitch with reckless abandon, I guess. With no reservations, with reckless abandon. If you're gonna dive in on me, I'm going to hit you with the handshake, and I'm gonna throw your ass backwards. That's just what's gonna happen, Neela. I'm sorry.
I'm not even gonna get that far. I'm gonna ban her because either the enemy team doesn't get her or my dumbass bot laner doesn't get this champion and play it for the first time in ranked.
I just want to read their little blurb. So her name is Neela. Her title is The Joy Unbound. And the little blurb they left for us is slip, slide, slash, and make a splash. And it just reminds me of dodge, dip,
Dodgeball?
duck, dive, and dodge. That's all I could think of when I read it. So congratulations, either Riot Riru, Arisu, or Riot Ether on that one for stealing that one from Dodgeball. Congratulations. We talked about Neela. We are not going to go in depth over her. Please refer back to the Neela episode, and also check the rundown and the champion insight. And whenever the spotlight comes out, check out the spotlight. Those are always good, even if Freak has horrible puns, and they are puns of damage. Check them out. Still good videos, still good content, still interesting things for a starting point on how to play this champion.
Alrighty, Sivir. So let's get into this because
She's getting an adjustment on this one, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like who just had it, like Swain.
Yes.
Who was another champion that got it? Talia, I think.
Yes,
got a look. So
Soigné and Talia, and there was somebody else too I can't think of, but the point remains.
yeah, so let's see. Base stats. Base health is going from 632 to 600. Base mana is going up from 325 to 340. Mana growth is dropping from 50 to 40. Mana regen is dropping from 1.6 to 1.2 per second. Mana regeneration growth is dropping from 0.18 to 0.16. Base attack damage dropping from 63 to 58. Attack damage
actually.
growth, yeah, that's not bad. But the growth going up from 3 to 3.3, and then the attack speed growth is going from 1.6 to 2%. I like this because this champion was suffering from, I don't want to say it, like she was better as lethality than like a
Than an
DPS.
attack speed. Right,
Yeah.
right. She should be an attack speed like they call that DPS, but like to me, damage per second, like whether you do 1,000 damage in 5 seconds or 200 damage per second for 5 seconds, 1,000 damage, you know what I mean? Like, she was not functioning well as an auto attack based champion, which is something she should. She was functioning as a spellcaster, which is something she should not have been doing. So I'm happy to see some of these changes. I'm happy to see what they're going to do with her because I did not like her as a spellcaster. She basically would compete with Jhin as a long-range spellcaster in the bot lane.
So let's see. Passive update. Fleet of Foot. Bonus move speed is getting increased, and this is fucking insane. Uh, it's going from 35 to 55. Now starting at 55 to 75, levels 1, 6, 11, 16, 18. And then a bonus mood speed duration is going from 2 seconds and it decays over 1.5 seconds. I believe one of the other abilities, some of her abilities will tie back in with the passive, but
So I like this change because I believe along with the passive, when you damage an enemy, you get to move faster towards them. I like that. Cool, they're going to give you a big fat chunk burst, but it decays. Instead of being a 2-second burst of movement speed, it's like, no, you get to like get an extra 2 steps, and then you're going to slow down. So I do like that change. So they're giving you more, like you said, early. Give you 20 more early and 20 more late. But it doesn't last as long. It starts falling off. So I like that change.
Q, base damage is getting lowered from 35 to 95 to 25 to 85. And the total AD scaling is also dropping from 70% to 70 to 130. Now it is 80 to 100, so it's up a little bit early and then down late. And then they always like to throw in random AP scaling. The AP scaling is getting increased from 50% to 60%.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I guess they're just trying to keep her from being a spellcaster. They're saying, look, you get some damage from it early, but you're not going to get as much late. Unless you get Baron, obviously. The extra 10% on the AP ratio is going to make a little bit of a difference there. But
here, it'll make sense in a second
okay.
once you read this.
Yep.
So the cooldown is going from 7 seconds at all ranks to scaling from 10 to 8 seconds.
Great.
The cast time is going from a quarter of a second to quarter second to 0 seconds, scales down with attack speed. Okay, so we're incentivizing attack speed.
Yep.
And then critical Shalakar?
Sure.
Now scales with critical strike chance, dealing up to 50% bonus damage at 100% crit.
There you go.
So you're basically getting half, whatever your crit is, you're getting half of that as
this
bonus damage.
Building IE.
Yeah, so that's good.
So yeah, whatever your 50% bonus damage. So the spell doesn't crit, but
The damage.
Your damage. So let's see, you're gonna have 100% probably once the skill's max. So 85 plus 100% total AD. So you're probably talking 300 to 400 damage on the spell. So an extra 2, so probably about 600. That's just a rough idea. By the time you have 100% crit, that's not based on any sort of actual math, guys. That's just a rough idea of how much AD you should probably have at 100% crit. So don't take that to heart, but that's just kind of saying at 100% crit, you should expect to do about 600 damage with the skill, plus or minus.
The mana cost is also getting lowered pretty sizably too, from 70 to 110 to 55 to 75.
That's fair, because they just nerfed her mana pool, right?
Right. And
So
then
that's fair.
the missile speed is getting increased from 1350, and that's going out and then coming back in. Now it is going out at 1450, but it is coming in at 1200 inwards. So it's a little bit slower when it comes back to you, but quicker going
That's
out.
pretty good. That's pretty significant, too. 250 units is pretty significant.
Tell me about the W.
Oh, the Ricochet. Your damage on the Ricochet is dropping. So it's going to start the same early. So it was 30 to 90% of your total AD. It's now going to be 30 to 50% of your total AD. So that's a pretty big change, but there's a lot more to come. So let me get through the rest of that. The mana cost is dropping by 15 from 75 to 60. The buff duration is changing from 3 attacks to 4 seconds. So if you have a shit ton of attack speed, you can get off way more than 3 attacks. So that's why they're changing that ratio, because you could probably get double, if not triple that, depending on what your attack speed is. Your cooldown is going to a flat cooldown. It was 12 to 6 seconds. It's now going to be 10 seconds at all ranks. So again, that's pretty good. That's why they're compensating for,
Makes sense.
for the amount of attacks.
If the duration is 4 seconds, it's going to be 6 seconds.
Right.
If you think it'll be 6 seconds once the buff wears off.
Is it? Does it start counting down once it wears off, or does it start counting down once? Because I don't know how that works. That's actually a good question, because I know on the old one it only started counting down once the 3 attacks were over, or it ran out of time. And then it would start the cooldown counter.
Right. I mean, I'm just assuming since it's not based on how many attacks left.
That's fair. It's something we'll have to see in game once the change goes through.
So if that is the case, then that's pretty good.
Right. If it's not the case, then it kind of sucks. But we'll see.
Fuck you.
Speed boost. This is added. Activating Ricochet now grants Sivir 25 to 40% attack speed. That was on her old ultimate, so that sounds like it's getting removed. I think we did read that somewhere.
Yeah.
Tough Crowd. It now deals 80% damage against minions. Okay, cool. You can't just clear the wave completely. You still got to do some other regular attacking, but okay. It used to have unlimited bounces. It's now going to have 8 bounces maximum per attack. The bounce range was 450, so it's going to go up to 500, which apparently is approximately 1 additional Teemo.
That's their measurement base.
That's a good way to figure out 50 units, though, if it's 1 Teemo. That's
One
pretty
Teemo.
good. The missile bounce speed is hella fast now. It was 700. It's going to be 1,000. So it used to bounce really slowly from unit to unit, giving you time to get out of range from when you saw it. Basically, moving that up by 40% is a big fucking difference. And also added, ricochets can now bounce back to targets that have already been hit, but only 1 additional time. Ricochets will prioritize new targets first. Think Fiddlestick's old Crow, his old Silence, except that one you could bounce back and forth on the same 2 units. This is going to bounce back and forth only 1 time and then move on to another unit or die off. All right, give me the E and then give me the ulti.
Here we go. Spell Shield cooldown is getting it's actually getting increased from 22 to 10. Now it is 22 to 14.
Yes.
Here we go. Happy Heals. Blocking an enemy ability now heals Sivir for 60 to 80% of her total AD plus a 50% AP scaling. I think this was one of the things we did mention, that they were changing the spell shield from mana return to healing.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
And then blocking an enemy's ability now procs Sivir's passive. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then, of course, no longer refunds mana. I'm not sure. What do you think? Do you think this is better?
I have one question. Do you build Nashor's Tooth on this champion?
I'm not.
Like, that would be like a last item. But
Probably
what
not.
the fuck? Yeah, I'm trying to factor in 100% crit, because 100% crit I feel like is actually really important before the AP scaling, but like 50% of total AP is a lot when you have Baron. What does Baron give you? 20 AP or something like that? So you're getting an additional 10% on top of the healing. That's pretty gross. Is this better? It certainly is going to make you choose, right? You're going to either have to pick 100% crit or a man immune item. I feel like that's the pick here, because she has such an awful mana pool, and it's not getting any better. Her mana pool still sucks.
I think.
I mean, they gave her 15 more, but her growth is down 10 per level. So it getting used to using the E as a mana refund is gonna go away, but using it as a heal is nice. But I think that's going to keep her just as auto-attacking and not a spellcaster. So that's what they want. Is it better? I don't know. I can't answer your question accurately because I don't know.
I think just rushing Essence Reavers solves the problem.
Yeah, that certainly helps. Certainly will help.
Get your
Essence
mana.
Reaver into probably Kraken Slayer or
Yeah, exactly.
Gale Force, maybe, depending what you need.
Alrighty, moving on to the R. And I'm very proud of this one because I think this was a suggestion I had mentioned many moons ago.
Yes.
So we'll start with the cooldown is getting lowered from 120 to 80. Now it is 100 to 70. The duration is changing from 8 seconds at all ranks. Now it is scaling from 8 to 12 seconds. That's a very long time.
That's a very long time.
If Sivir assists with a recent takedown while on the hunt is active, the aura will now refresh its duration. That is big, because you think of Sivir and like you just think about the ult team. You're like, oh, cool, we're gonna chase the fucking enemy team down with our team. The fact that it resets now is big.
That's disgusting.
Also, doesn't it buff minions too?
It buffs I think all allies.
So just imagine like, oh, we're gonna run the fucking minions down the lane too, dude. We're gonna yeet them down the fucking lane. No, I like this. This is super good quality of life, and it kind of
Right.
I mean, it's called on the hunt. So what you're telling me, you're on the hunt just for 8 seconds and then you're done? No, you're gonna be on the hunt for 12 seconds, resetting, It doesn't stack. It just
No,
resets. So if you get a
just
kill within
refreshes.
2 seconds, yeah, exactly.
Goes
But that's
back.
still good.
Right.
Let's see. Sivir's basic attacks during On the Hunt now reduce her basic ability cooldowns by half a second per attack. Woo! That sounds like old Spear
She
Sojin.
still has no mana. She still has no mana. Just make that clear. She still has
Essence
shit
Reaver.
mana.
Essence
I know,
Reaver.
but if you won't have Essence Reaver by level 6.
I mean, unless you're mega fed. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
maybe
right.
maybe taking Mana Flow secondary is going to be good. Or
Possibly.
probably
Possibly.
take...
Or, fuck, what's it called?
I know. On Yellow Tree.
Yeah, I know.
Presence of Mind.
Fuck. Presence. Yeah, right. I kept wanting to say Essence. Like, it's not Essence. It's Presence.
And then, of course, Sivir no longer gains bonus attack speed from On the Hunt, and then also no longer gives Sivir and her allies an additional movement speed burst. Okay, so it doesn't give you that boom and because did it used to decay?
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't
Yeah,
decay.
it'll give
it's
you a
just
big
flat.
old boom and then decay. But yeah, now it's just a flat thing. It does work with minions. Minions are considered allies. It just doesn't work on neutral monsters or enemies, obviously. So
Makes
yes,
sense.
it does work on minions. You can run the minions down the lane. I did confirm that.
I'm pretty hyped. This is cool. This might give Sivir, I think,
Some agency.
yeah, right. Like this is actually gonna bring her into 2022. So
2022. Try like 2019, dude.
true.
She's been out of the game pretty much since then. I mean, unless you needed a spellcaster or like a lethality damage dealer. But cool. Let's get on to the next one because Sivir was a long one. She took a lot of time. I don't want to eat up all your guys' time. We're already almost at 30 minutes. So let's get right into Corki. His EAD scaling is increased, and his R base damage is decreased, and his AP scaling is decreased. Yeah, this champion's been just absolutely taking over the mid lane. So they definitely needed to do this to him. His Gatling gun is going to keep the same base damage, but it's going to gain a 5% bonus AD ratio. His Missile Barrage is going to lose a little bit in the base damage. It was 90 to 100. Sorry, 90 to 160. God damn, those strike twos are hard to see sometimes. 90 to 160. It's going to be 80 to 150. He's going to keep the same AD scaling ratio, but he's going to lose 8% on the AP ratio. So that's a big difference. 8%'s a lot, I feel like. And on the big one rocket, that's double, so you guys can do some math. It's going to be 160 to 300 with a 24% AP ratio.
That's
all
what
for
I've
Corki.
been seeing a lot because I mean people are still rushing Luden's Echo,
Right.
and that fucking big one rocket just fucking
melts.
destroys.
It wreaks fucking havoc, and that's the whole point, right? You get a big one rocket, and then you build like Essence Reaver, and you just get the Sheen proc, and it hurts. It fucking hurts.
I feel like I mean his whole thing is his passive converts his damage into magic damage.
Right.
So it's
Right.
weird that he's building magic damage. I feel like he shouldn't. I don't know.
He builds AD but does magic damage. I don't know. I like that. I think it's unique. There's not really another champion that does that.
I like
so.
that, but I feel like I don't like. I remember the old days, Boomer talk coming in, like rushing Triforce Corki, like that was good.
Right.
Old days, but
Right, and that's when he only did 50%
Right.
into magic damage, so you didn't build things. But the problem with the 50% ratio is it made his build kind of doo-doo because you couldn't really build one efficiently more than the other. And now at least having it, what is it, 75% now? It's like,
80.
hey,
It's 80.
okay, it's like, hey, build some magic pen.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
void
you may not
staff.
do as much with the AP, but build the magic pen because that actually affects your auto attacks and stuff like that. So it gave some clarity to his build, I felt like. I'm not against it. I like it.
All right, moving on to Elise. Base stats changing. Base health from 625 to 650. Health growth from 107 to 109. Base armor 27 to 30. Q base damage is getting increased, staying the same at 40, and then it is getting increased by 20 late, so from 40 to 160 to 40 to 180 now. This champion, I don't know, you're just playing her in an ARAM. I've not seen this champion in Summoner's Rift in a very long time.
Unless Christian's playing this champion. She's pretty much non-existent.
She used to be like the queen of like diving too. Like this
Yes.
champion is so good at diving.
And then they went ahead and came out with Volibear's turret turn off, basically giving him Ohm Wrecker, and then she stopped being the queen of the dive.
All right, let's move on down.
You talk about a neurotoxin? I didn't even see that.
Yeah,
There, hear you. Okay, I'm sorry.
you're fine.
Evelindo, the invisible succubus. Passive heal increased, W magic resistance reduction
Holy
increased.
shit.
R now decreases the timer to re-enter passive
This
camouflage.
already makes me nervous.
Evelyn hasn't been seen much since the durability update. Sure, she wasn't seen much before then either, so I'm not sure what you're trying to say there.
Boo.
It's not because she's been using her camouflage. We're alluring players into playing her again by giving her several quality of life buffs and increasing the reward for when she successfully charms her targets. This champion still sucks on ARAMs because you don't have anywhere to move. Passive Demon Shade. Self-heal at low health. So it was 15 to 75 per second, levels 1 through 18. It's now going to be 15 to 150 health per second, levels 1 through 18. I believe it caps at 50% health, if I remember correctly. Her W Allure. The enemy magic resistance reduction was 25 to 35%. It's getting a fat buff at
Wow.
10% per rank. So 35 to 45%. So that's pretty
Wow.
huge. That basically means, hey, fuck a Void Staff. Just hit the charm. You don't even need to do anything. You don't need a Void Staff, but build Shadow Flame instead. And lastly, her ultimate Last Caress. Adding, using R now puts passive Demon Shade on a 1.25 second cooldown rather than the usual 4-second
Holy
cooldown.
shit.
Which means you hit it and leave. Get the fuck out.
And you're in Viz.
Unless-
Holy shit.
Yes, exactly. A lot of people use it as an escape tool.
Yeah.
When there's not an execution to be had, it's used as an escape. So I think they're adding that, like they said, a quality of life buff. I think that is quality of life for sure.
Well, the other thing to note is her passive will kick in when she's in Demon Shade. So if you're low HP and you ult, and you'll start regenning in 1 1/4 second.
Yep.
That's fucking
gross.
OP. Guys,
Pretty gross.
AP junglers, I see Fiddlesticks is next. AP junglers are coming back.
Yeah, we don't have any right now other than Diana. And is she really an AP jungler or is she more of a bruiser?
Oh man, do we
that
even
does
want to
AP
talk about
damage?
that fucking disgusting game?
Oh,
Dude? The champion is nuts.
Yeah, she's nuts.
Yeah, tank Sunfire into demonic is OP on Diana. Anyways,
That brings me back to the point though. Is she really an AP jungler or is she a bruiser? I don't know.
she's an AP jungler, bruiser, and assassin all in one.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah,
me.
got it. All right. Fiddlesticks, Q fear duration increased, R damage increased. All right, the fear duration is going from 1 to 2 seconds of a fear to 1 1/4 to 2 1/4 seconds. And Crowstar Arm, the base and AP ratio are going up. It is going from 625 to 1625. Now it is 750 to 1750. And the AP ratio is going from 225 to 250 AP. That is I never knew that that did that much fucking damage. I guess it's the full duration, right? If you sit in it.
Yep.
That's a lot.
And that's another durability revert. Riot. Can we figure out something else to do other than durability reverts? I mean, the Evelyn one, sure, you're giving the MR, but you're also adding durability to her by giving her the escape. This is just a damage buff to go back on the durability changes. Why did we do the durability changes if you're going to keep adding damage? I don't fucking get it. This is dumb. Stop doing this, please. This is pointless. Okay. Angry rant over. I guess we go down to Galio, who's getting a Q damage increase. And are you ready for this one? It's a durability revert, by the way. Tornado damage per tick was 2% plus 2/3%, which is 0.66 per 100 AP. It's now going to be 2.5% plus 1% per 100 AP of the target's maximum health. Cool. Nice durability revert, right?
So I'm looking back because this is giving me. You remember? I think it's what I'm looking at is season 7 when AP Galio just got. I think it was during Worlds.
Yeah.
This is giving me shades of this.
Right.
Because this was on patch 721, and I'm gonna read this what it is and just double check what is it right now. What's the base damage?
It doesn't say.
Okay, so right now or at 721 it was 50 to 170, the AP ratio went from 0.75 to 0.9 ability power. And then this did 3% of the target's max health per 100 AP. I know what this is at 2.5.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, that's
So, as I say, currently the damage is 70 to 210 with a 75% AP ratio.
Oh, so that's what they changed. Okay. It's
They
not.
changed the...
Yeah, it doesn't have a base anymore. It just does a percentage, I think.
No, I think the base is still there. They're just adding more to the percentage of sitting in it. It's what they're doing is like if you're sitting in it, you're just taking more damage. If it hits you, it does its normal base, which isn't very high. It has a rather low damage unless you're sitting in it and taking the hits.
Feel like it's still. I mean,
It's better, but like we're just like slightly reverting durability. I think what they're trying to do, like you said though, is they're trying to say, hey Galio, don't build so tanky. Build a couple AP items.
that scares me.
Demonic Embrace.
Getting one shot by Galio again. Let's go.
Demonic Embrace, maybe Everfrost. Everfrost is probably pretty good on this champion
Probably, yeah.
because you just hit the stun and then you hit the taunt. That's disgusting. Moving on to Gwen. Tell me about Gwen. She's getting a pretty big difference here. I think
Yes.
big adjustment.
Another like mid-scope update. Let's see. Base stats. Health regen growth is going from 0.55 to 0.9 per 5 seconds. Passive against monsters is base and scaling are going down. They do not want this champion in the jungle. It is going from 10 with a 15% scaling to 6 with a 10% scaling.
Okay.
Her Q damage per snip is going up from 9 to 21 to 10 to 26. That's base, and the AP scaling of 5% is staying. The final snip is getting an increase. It's going from 45 to 105 with a 25% AP scaling. Now it is 60 to 140 with a 35% AP scaling.
So she attacks 7 times, or it's 7 times the amount of the original. Okay.
The center snip is no longer 100% true damage. It is 75% true damage.
Wow.
Minion play, let's see. Now deals 75% damage against minions with more than 20% health. Minions below 20% health take 1000% bonus. So you're just going to be executing minions with this thing now. Okay, that's fair. W, Hallowed Mist, bonus armor and MR are getting increased from 12 to 20 with a 5% AP ratio to 17 to 25 with a 7% AP ratio. And the duration is dropping by 1 second from 5 to 4. That's fine. Because obviously the part that sucks about this ability is Gwen is immune. Right. I'm fine with like a stat buff during the duration. It's only 4 seconds now. That's fine.
Right.
Moving down
move it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Moving down to E, skip it slash. Bonus magic damage on hit is getting increased from 10 with a 15% AP ratio to 15 to 20% AP. The bonus range on our auto attack is getting increased from 50 to 75. Cooldown is getting increased, staying the same at level 1 from 13 to 9. Now it is going from 13 to 11. And then the cooldown refunded on first basic attack. Now, I'm not sure if they goofed here because the whole thing is slashed out.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming because currently, or before this patch, it was 50% refund on the first basic attack. The way they have it is, it looked like it was scaling from 25 to 65% on the refund. We're not going to know, but Riot is famous for goofing up patch notes and making them very confusing.
Not editing their work. Or not having somebody really good in there paying attention to what's being written so they can edit it properly. But
I'm assuming it's 25 to 65 because if they got rid of that, this champion would suck.
Oh, without a doubt.
Without the refund or whatever, but we'll see. And then finally, her R needle work base damage is getting increased. 30 to 80 with an 8% AP ratio. Now it is 35 to 95 with a 10% AP ratio. And the reset mechanic. Reset is going from recast, resets after damaging on enemy champion, to recast, reset after 1 second. So you don't have to hit an enemy champion to do your second or third charge.
Interesting. Okay. What do you think about Gwen?
I think it's not bad. It makes her more. I mean, she's very slippery, and I hope to God that if we are interpreting the refund, um, I like it. It's gonna be a little bit less of Gwen is immune, and now she's gonna be more of like a sustained kind of fighter. And obviously, she's not gonna one shot you because all the true damage is getting 25% of the true damage off the Q is getting changed.
Right.
But the way she could maybe be able to push lanes like a motherfucker now with the minion execute.
Right. She feels a little bit more late game to me now too.
Sure.
Less strong early, where I felt like she was kind of strong in all phases. It feels like they're really putting the carry ability in the back half of her kit, similar to like a Jax, but like an AP version. That's kind of how I see it. And I think that's where we're gonna put our question of the week, is how you guys feel about the adjustments to Gwen and to Sivir. We'll go over all that stuff at the end as per usual, but
Yeah.
you guys can start thinking now. That's kind of what we're, at least what I'm leaning towards. But let's move down to Karthus, everyone's favorite undead jangler. Karthus getting a base armor and health growth increase. Health growth increase. So he's getting more durability, guys. Base armor going from 18 to 21. Health growth from 101 to 110. This actually is going to make him a better user of Demonic Embrace should you choose to go more bruisery. You don't have to. It's not... that just becomes a little bit more matchup specific. But if he's going to basically grow... Let's see, what's 9 times 18? Trying to do quick math in my head. It's an extra... Almost an extra 150.
Yeah, 150
health,
something.
165 maybe health. So that's going to add to the AP gained from like an item like Demonic Embrace. So definitely something to think about. I don't know if that's going to be efficient compared to what his current build is. I don't know his current build. I know this is a champion that you want to go in and just kind of die, and you build Leandries anyways. So I don't know if it's worth building Demonic, but something to think about. When I see a health growth increase on a champion that's not really a bruiser, that does AP but could use some extra health, that item jumps out at me.
I'm looking at... Let's see.
Looking at Lolytics' current
I was looking
high
at...
win rate.
Oh, I'm looking at Demonic Embrace. Does it count when just by health growth? I thought it was from items.
Oh, maybe it's only bonus health.
That'd be insane if that...
Maybe it is only bonus health.
I was like, damn, dude. Like,
Either way,
shit.
Still, I still think it's a good item, because how much health does it give you on the item itself?
450.
That's, yeah, see? And you add an extra 160. I mean, it makes you just a healthier
Yeah, it is bonus
bruiser
health.
champ. So
2% of bonus health.
Still could be an efficient item. Just throwing that out there. I think, let's see, looking at Lolytics' highest win rate build looks like Leandries into Sork Boots into Rabadons, and then you're looking at either Shadow Flame or Zonias, and then I mean you have to have a Zonias at some point in there. And then you're looking at like a Void Staff and then a Morello, depending on what you need. Morello might not be worth it for him because that item kind of sucks anyways, so the Morello would be the one I would see as interchangeable with something else, but you are going to end up losing out on bonus health anyways. It's kind of a crapshoot, but I think Morello becomes a little bit more of a situational interchange or interflex with like a Demonic Embrace.
I think how much... It gives 90 AP, right?
It does give 90 AP.
That's probably what...
And
I mean,
300
Demonic only does 60.
60?
But with 450 health.
Yeah, so I don't... What's the conversion ratio?
2% of bonus health.
Okay, yeah, so 2%. Yeah, you're not going to get a whole lot. Morello's going to give you more AP, which is definitely what he wants. But I think it also depends on what you're going against, too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, like I said, that I think would just be a situational possibility. But tell me what we got going on with Kled here. It's nice to see him on this
Yeah,
again.
I can't remember the last... I mean, aside from the durability patch, I've not
Right.
seen this champion
Nobody plays this champion. This champion's kind of secret OP if you know what you're doing.
Let's see. Q initial damage is going from 30 to 130 with a 60% bonus AD ratio. Now it is 30 to 130 with a 65% bonus AD ratio. And then the second activation is the base damage staying the same, 60 to 260. But then the bonus AD is getting it's doubling from what the initial one is, from 120 to 130.
Yeah, nice and easy double on the second activation. I didn't even know it actually doubled damage. I didn't even realize it did damage on the pullback.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's
That
when
skill-
it applies the grievous wounds too.
Okay, that skill is extremely hard to actually get the pullback with, and sometimes you're just using it to clear. Actually, most of the time you're just using it as a ranged tool to clear minions and not to actually use on a target because it's incredibly difficult. Because it's such a short range where they can break out of it. It's incredibly difficult to keep that on. So I didn't even know that.
And then
So that's cool.
his W, the cooldown is dropping from 12 to 6. Now it is 11 to 5 seconds. That's pretty good.
Nice.
One
Nice.
second.
I like that. I really like that ability.
All right, here we go. This is your best friend here, Master E.
Oh, Mr. Free. Attack range increased. All right, I'm getting out of here. I'm done. Bye. All right, just kidding. I'm back. Attack range increased. Q adjusted. W cooldown reduced. Mana cost adjusted. Damage reduction increased. Lingering damage reduction adjusted. He just banned this fucking champion from the game. Why is he getting an extra Teemo of attack range? You like that callback? Attack range 125 to 175. That's fucking stupid. Alpha Strike. New. Pick and choose. So in the past, when Alpha Strike ends, he is placed 75 units in front of his primary target. Now, by default, Yi will be placed 75 units in front of his primary target. During Alpha Strike, Master Yi may right-click to instead be placed 75 units in the direction clicked.
I think I was talking to you about it. So it's kind of like Kane ult, where you get to pick where you come out.
Stupid. Fucking dumb. W Meditate. Cooldown. Does that say 20 or 28?
It's 28 seconds.
So from 28 to 9 seconds.
Yep.
Mana cost, however, 50 was the old cost. It's now 40 plus 6% maximum mana per second. Thank you, Yumi, for bringing in that mechanic. That's a Yumi mechanic right there. Damage reduction during Meditate was 60 to 70%. It's now 90% for the first half second, reduced to 60 to 70% for the remainder of the channel. The reason they do that is because most people aren't using Meditate to heal. They're using it for the damage reduction, and they're using it for a burst protection. That's fucking dumb, because that's how you kill this fucking champion. So why the fuck would Riot do this? I don't know, but you guys are fucking stupid.
A lot of it's like you, if you're tower diving and you come out of Alpha
Right.
Strike and you take a turret shot, you pop that Meditate, you don't
Yep.
take fucking any damage. Especially now
Nope.
it's 90% in the first half second.
Yeah. Lingering damage reduction for a half second after Meditate, but not exceeding a total of 4 seconds. So now it's for half second after Meditate ends. So you don't get to keep that damage reduction for 4 seconds. Sure, I'm not really sure what that first sentence meant. There must have been a reset mechanic that I just don't remember, and it's not noted here. So, fuck it. Just ban this champion. Don't even bother playing with it. It's like banning Katarina. This is stupid. The champion's already really fucking strong right now. And they just said, you know what, we're going to overload this high damage champion's kit. And his weakness is CC and being bursted, and they just took the burst part away. So there's not enough CC in the game to stop Master Yi from alpha striking your butthole. So just ban him. Don't even bother playing with this champion. Just keep him out of your game.
You can't even
If you
burst.
wanna
You
win.
can't even burst him now.
That's what I'm saying. They took that part away. They get rid of the burst, so all you got left is CC, and there ain't enough fucking CC in the game.
All right, moving down to
Tell me about
Olaf.
Talk about CC.
Base stats. Health regen is lowering from 8.5 to 6.5. Health regen growth is dropping from 0.9 to 0.6. Health regen at 18 for the Mathras is going from 23.8 to 16.7. Okay. And then passive maximum bonus attack speed is 40 to 180, levels 1 through 18. Now it is 60 to 100. So I guess this dude's been struggling. I don't know, because I feel like every time I see this champion, he's just fucking wrecking face. Maybe they want to put him in the jungle.
That's what it says here.
Oh, I didn't even read that.
So the Olaf's mid-scope update helped him establish place in the top lane, but he hasn't been
genius.
as powerful in the jungle. We're giving him some additional buffs that should help strengthen his jungler roots.
Riot, hire me. I fucking know what I'm talking about. And then Q, mana cost is getting increase.
By 10.
So how is this a buff?
It's the Berserker Rage attack speed that's 60 to 100%.
Why
passive.
But they list him under buffs, no? They did.
It's more of an adjustment, I would say.
No, I agree.
The health regen being there. But actually, the health regen being lower is better for his passive.
Sure.
So I guess that's kind of a buff.
Yeah, so Q mana cost going from 40 to 60. Now it is 50 to 70.
All right, Nekki Renekton. Our damage now scales with AD. I didn't realize it didn't before.
Yep.
20 to 75 with a 10% AP ratio. Now adding a 10% bonus AD ratio.
Dude,
cool. Moving on.
His just to put in perspective, his ult, the like AoE is dog shit. If you compare it to Nasus, let me look at the actual numbers. Nasus does percent damage while he's in let's see. Yeah, his ult per second, the tick is 3, 4, and then 5 plus 100% AP of the target's max health. Obviously, you're not going to building AP, but you're getting a percentage, whereas this is what it was 25 at rank 1. That's but 10% bonus AD, we're getting there. That's a start.
In fairness, with Renekton, you're not using it to damage people, you're using it to be healthier and to stay in a fight.
No, but yeah, exactly. But now they're giving just a little tap of damage, so that's fine.
Durability revert. Durability revert. Just, I'm going to keep saying it every time they increase someone's damage on something, even if it's minuscule like this. It's a durability revert.
All right. Oh boy.
Tell me about the rock lady, the rock bender, earth bender. That's the word.
Hang in there, guys. This is a long episode.
We're actually almost there. Just kidding. There's a lot of items too.
Yeah. Passive. Talia's passive cooldowns will no longer reset due to proc damage, like Leandri's.
Cool.
Okay. Q. Threaded volley. Wow, this is very specific. 1 rock damage is going from 40 to 120 to 40 to 125.
So that's the base ground damage. Okay.
Yeah, the AP ratio staying the same. The 5 rock damage base is going from 104 to 312. Now it is 117 to 325. AP ratio staying at 130. Boulder damage. The boulder damage is the work ground one, right?
I don't remember.
I think it is. No, it has to because
created when activating Q on work ground. That's right.
Right, yeah. That is going from 76 to 228 and is going from 85 and a half to 230 and a half, 237 and a half with a 95% AP ratio.
So just a little nudge on that one, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically it's not double the base. No. Okay, never mind.
Not quite.
Mana cost is getting lowered from 60 to 80. Now it is 55 to 75. Bonus damage against minions and against monsters, not minions. It is going from 30 with a 10% AP ratio. Now it is 25 with a 10% AP ratio. They do not want this champion jungling. And rock and hard hitting jungle monsters with Talia's Boulder created when activating Q on work ground now stuns jungle monsters for 3 seconds. Never mind, they want.
I was gonna say, what did you just say? They don't want her jungling? Yeah, no, they're just giving her better jungle tools.
That's big.
Yeah,
it's stuns.
That's huge. That's huge. 3 seconds, dude. You stun the blue buff for 3 seconds. Trey seconds. You don't take damage. Eat blue buff wolves, chickens. It just gives her durability in the jungle, which is kind of cool. It's a creative way to do that too.
And then finally, Weaver's Wall no longer goes on cooldown when Talia damages wards or traps.
All right, we'll keep it rolling right down into Vex. Q cooldown decreased at all ranks. AP ratio increased. Cool. Mistral Bolt the Q. So it was 9 to 5 seconds. You're going to drop a second on each rank, going 8 to 4. Her magic damage, the base numbers were 60 to 240. Looks like they're going to stay the same, but they're going to add 10% to her AP scaling. So it was 60%. It's not going to be 70% AP. Fuck it.
Moving on.
Yeah, tell me about the bear. The last champion on the list here.
Q, bonus move speed is getting lowered from 10 to 26%. Now it is 8 to 24. The damage is also getting lowered. Base was 20 to 100 with 120% bonus AP 80 ratio. Now it is dropping to 10 to 90. So we're losing 10 on that. The W damage base, and let's see, base is getting lowered by 5 at all ranks from 10 to 110. Now it is 5 to 105. 80 ratio is staying the same, but then the bonus health ratio is dropping by 1%, 6 to 5%.
Okay.
And then the E, the base damage is staying the same. AP ratio is staying the same. And then the max health is changing. It's going from 11 to 15%. Now it is 9 to 13%. And then the damage cap against non-champions is getting lowered from 750 to 650. It's going to hurt, it's clear.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to hurt the damage that he does to champions when he ganks as well, which is important because with a champion that can turn off a turret, he shouldn't be able to do massive amount of damage like that. So, okay, into the items, and we're going to be ripping through these, so bear with us. Divine Sunders first on the list. Divine Sunder is seeing a nerf. So the Spellblade damage was 12% for melee, 9% for range of the target's maximum health. Now it's going to be 125% of the base AD, which I believe is the same as Sheen, plus a 6% for melee or 3% for range of the target's maximum health, which means that ranged ADC units are going to have a much harder time using this item because it's literally a third of the damage it did, and base ADs for ADCs is low.
Sheen based AD is 100%. So it's a little
so you get
bit
a little
more.
bit more than just Sheen. Okay. The heal was 50% of pre-mitigation damage, plus 6% for melee and 3% for range of the target's maximum health. It's now going to be 65% of pre-mitigation damage, plus 4.8 for melee and 2.4 for range of target's maximum health, plus 100% base AD.
Right. That's
so actually, you're going to get a little bit more out of the heal from it, less out of the damage
more
from
sustain,
it.
yeah.
Yep. The mythic passive bonus for legendary items. This is the big one. You're going to lose 2% on the penetrations. So the armor pen was 5%, the magic pen was 5%, it's now 3%. The same changes will apply to the Ornn Masterwork item Decide.
So I'm looking really quick at champions with base AD. Because this is, if you don't have a high base AD, you don't want to build this.
Right. Trundle. And that does account for scaling base ADs, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Your ADCs do not scale well with base ADs, which is why I'm saying it's garbage for that kind of champion.
Fucking.
I mean, when you lose a third of the bonus damage you're getting out of it, that's fucking hot garbage.
The highest base AD is Tryndamere at 72.
Yeah, and he's still building Dustblade instead of this item. Although he could build this item, I guess, if he wanted to, but he's still a better auto attacker than he is a spellcaster. So.
Well, that scares me because that heal might be worth taking this. But I'm saying, okay, so let's see.
But you only get it when you're spellcasting. So.
I mean, you're gonna be spinning. Well, whatever. Okay, so I'm looking at champions. Other ones to notice. I think Renekton might be able to use this. He's got 69. Nice.
I've seen it on Renekton before, and I've seen it on like a Gnar before too.
Camille, Fiora, Alawi. Alawi has a 5 base health growth per level.
That's pretty good. Alawi is a big user of this item.
I probably Nasus, Hecarim.
Of course.
I'd probably run it on Gangplank. That might be the better Trinity than Trinity Force now.
With the heal, for sure.
So, yeah, it's...
And because he counts as melee and not a ranged.
Ooh, Darius, too, might be worth...
Oh, yeah, Darius, yeah. Because Darius right now is building Triforce, right? Or Gore Drinker. He can go Triforce or Gore Drinker.
Yeah,
Depends on the matchup.
Sure, they're nerfing the armor pen, but you'll take whatever you can, dude. That's...
armor
pen is so good on him. So
Yeah.
Alrighty. Run us through the next two, because they're very similar.
Yes, Demonic Embrace and Leandri's Anguish. So Demonic Embrace... The passive Azakana Gaze now stacks when applied by multiple users. However, one user cannot refresh another user's application of the passive. So if Maokai hits it on a champion, and then Mordekaiser hits it on a champion. They have 2 separate counters, but the damage stacks.
That's
So
nuts.
only Maokai can refresh his own counter, and only Mordekaiser can refresh his own counter, but you do deal double the damage. Leandri's Anguish. Passive Torment now stacks when applied by multiple users. However, one user cannot refresh another user's application of the passive. I don't need to explain that again. The little thing that they called it was Literal Torment. I like that. Tell me about Dustblade.
Dustblade, mythic passive bonus for legendary items, going from just 5 ability haste. Now it is 5 ability haste and 5 movement speed. Same for the Ornn Masterwork items. And Eclipse is getting the same thing, except... there's a little extra. So the range damage proc is going from 6% to 3% max health. So they do not want this... Yeah, exactly. You do not want this on range. And then the mythic passive is 4% armor pen. Now it is adding 5 movement speed. And... Prowler's Claw, last one, same thing, getting 5 movement speed on the mythic passive.
So GP with Prowler's Claw, maybe with lethality there.
I mean, that's the highest.
Right, highest damage, and you get move speed now too. I could see it. Draven and Jhin are gonna be pushed out of. They could probably still use Prowler's Claw, but they're definitely being pushed out of Eclipse. They're saying no, Eclipse is a melee item. Like you could build it, sure. You're not going to be getting the best damage boost out of it, but you are getting a % armor pen, which is still good, and you are getting movement speed. So there is something there, but you're not doing the damage from the health, and I feel like the 3% max health probably is better than the 5% movement speed for building this item. You might as well build a flat pen item like Prowlers or Dustblade for those champions that are ranged, in my opinion. Big difference coming up here. That's the end of items, guys. We have objective bounties and vision to go, and I'll hit these objective bounties really quickly. They want to make them feel more fair, whether you're behind or ahead. So the lingering duration was 5 seconds. It's now 60 seconds. Okay. So get cash now. Bounties will now start to fall off a little earlier when the losing team reduces the lead. Claiming an objective bounty as bounties are lingering now cancels all other objective bounties on the map until bounties are reactivated. So if you have 2 people hitting a turret trying to take them both at the same time, or you're doing a turret and dragon, you get one, you're going to stop the other one from getting you the bonus gold. Which was good because I felt like it was pretty easy to stack if you could fall behind and then hit like a mid-game spike and wipe the other team, and then all of a sudden you'd be catapulting your gold to the other side, instead of just bringing it more to even. So that's an interesting way to do that. Champions with gold accumulating passives such as Draven or Gangplank and runes like Treasure Hunter no longer count towards your team's total gold when calculating bounties. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, TF and GP could adversely affect how you gain bounties. So that's kind of good that they're taking that out, because that's a little bit of a broken thing. They talk about that in pro play all the time when you see a TF or a GP on a team and you look at gold graphs, you're like, wow, the gold's really similar, but this team is like way far behind because all the gold's on one champion, and yes, that champion can carry. It's all in one champion, not spread across the team. So a 45k even match in gold looks much different for a team that has GP when he's the one that has all the gold versus the other team where it's a little bit more evenly spread. And the last one says, how much is a dragon worth? The way dragons and towers are weighted when calculated for bounties has been updated to be more in line with player expectations.
Neat.
I have no fucking clue what that means. Thanks for telling me nothing.
I know, it has been updated. Wink. Don't worry, guys. Wink, we got this. But what the fuck does that even mean?
No one knows.
Why is there not another sentence or two explaining how the fuck... That's
because
the
it's provocative.
That's the dumbest shit. Going. That's the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard. Or that's the dumbest shit I've never seen, because I don't fucking know what the... I hate this fucking game.
It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense, but that's the Rito way. So tell me about Vision, and we'll wrap it up after that.
Yeah, I think we mentioned this. Maybe we didn't, but basically all jungle monsters and wards will now be visible instantly. Even upon dashing or blinking into range. So sometimes, you're jungling and you go around, take your red buff, and you don't see it and you're like, oh fuck, my red buff's gone, it could still be there because for some reason they're just changing that now.
Yeah.
Dumb. Game mode, spellbook's coming back. No one cares.
There's a couple of QOL changes I want to go over real fast. This is quick. Kale now slightly increases in size when she reaches level 11.
Thick.
Belveth now slightly smaller when in true form. Belveth's resource bar has been updated to reflect the duration of her true form. Gordrinker's healing tracker now tracks healing from all targets hit, not just once per cast. Black Cleaver now displays the bonus damage caused by its Armor Shred passive, which is awesome. Umbral Glaive now displays the number of wards killed while you have the item, and EDG Zoe's sleep status effect is now more visible, especially in the river. That is one of those pay-to-win skins.
So explain to me still why there are a handful of legendary skins that don't
doesn't
give
make
the
any-
stats.
It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why. I can't explain it to you because I have no fucking clue.
Like the one that I've been seeing a lot is like collector. Like show me
Yes.
how many times I've quote unquote collected someone.
Or show me how much extra gold
Or-
I've got.
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Give me something. Show me how much extra gold I got. I'd be curious because that's, I think, shows you more efficiency than how many champions you've collected, right?
That's so fucking dumb.
And then the Star Guardian skins coming out. You got Echo, Kaisa, Neela, Sona, Fiddleshits, and Prestige Echo, along with Prestige, or was Prestige Syndra already there, just updated?
Second batch.
Got it, second. Okay, cool. Cool. Guys, question of the week. I still like the idea of how you guys feel about the adjustments of Gwen and Sivir. Dean, what do you think?
Yeah, that works. Let us know what you guys think. Are you going to be playing Sivir more? Way more utility. Just imagine, I'm just thinking this, pairing her with like, I'm blanking right now. What's the fucking support item that gives you movement speed?
Oh, Shurelius.
Imagine just partnering up like if you got like a Lulu or just someone that's just going to double up on that movement speed too. It's going to be gross.
Yeah.
Imagine just,
Yes.
I'm calling it now, Sivir Hecarim team comps.
Yes. Yes. Okay. And then a poll idea that I had, and you can tell me if you don't like it. Are you permabanning Master Yi or what?
I still don't like seeing Katarina.
See, there's options. There's options in that question. You don't have to explain. I'm just curious if you're permabanning Yi.
Guys, thanks for listening. I know it was a long episode. We'll be back on Friday for our champion
Yes.
review. And
Yes, we
as
will.
always, good luck in your games, and we will see you then.
Have fun with Neela.